Need information regarding vitamins? Hey guys, welcome to Lifetsyle. This is me Vanshavan, and today we will be covering the topic vitamins. We will cover every single thing you need to know about it. So let's get started. There are total 13 vitamins, out of which 9 are water soluble and 4 are fat soluble. So let's get started. Now first let's get into the water soluble vitamins. They travel freely throughout the body, and excess amounts are flushed by the kidneys. So we need water soluble vitamins frequently in small doses. And the list for water soluble vitamins goes on. Our first vitamin in the list is vitamin thiamine, which is also known as B1. So let's talk about its function. It's important to nerve function. It's a part of an enzyme which is needed for energy metabolism. Now let's talk about its sources. It's found in almost all the nutritious foods, but in moderate amounts, such as pork, whole grain breads, cereals, nuts, seeds, and other are here. Our next vitamin in the list is RIBOFLAVIN. It is also known as vitamin B2. So let's talk about its functions. It is also a part of an enzyme which is needed for energy metabolism. It is important for normal vision and skin's health. So now let's talk about its sources. Milk products, whole grain bread, enriched breads, green leafy vegetables, and cereals. Our next vitamin in the list is niacin, also known as vitamin B3. Let's talk about its function. It's again a part of an enzyme needed for energy metabolism, important for nervous system, digestive system, and your skin's health. And now let's talk about its sources. Its sources can be meat, poultry, fish, vegetables, peanut butter, whole grain bread, enriched breads, and other are here. Our next in the list is pantothenic acid. Let's talk about its function. Again, it is a part of an enzyme needed for energy metabolism, and its sources, it's widespread in foods. Our next vitamin in the list is vitamin biotin. So let's talk about its function. Again, it's a part of an enzyme needed for energy metabolism. Sources, widespread in foods, and it is also produced in intestinal tract by bacteria. Our next vitamin in the list is pyridoxine. It is also known as vitamin B6. So its functions, again, it is a part of an enzyme needed for energy production, helps in making red blood cells. Its sources, let's talk about it. Meat, poultry, fish, vegetables, and fruits. Our next in the list is folic acid. Its functions, it is a part of an enzyme needed for making DNA and new blood cells, especially the red blood cells. Its sources can be orange juice, liver, green leafy vegetables, legumes, and now added to almost all refined grains as well. Our next vitamin in the list is cobalamin, which is also known as vitamin B12. So its function are, it is a part of an enzyme needed for making new cells, important to nerve function. Now let's talk about the sources. The sources can be meat, poultry, fish, seafood, eggs, and it's not mostly found in plant products. Our next in the list is ascorbic acid, which is also known as vitamin C. Now let's talk about its function. It's antioxidant, important for immune system's health. It is a part of an enzyme needed for protein metabolism, aids in iron absorption, and its sources, it's mostly found in fruits and vegetables. To know more, just read this, right? Let's get into the fat-soluble vitamins. These are stored in body's cell and cannot be excreted as water-soluble vitamins. We do not need to consider eating as often, but adequate amount is needed. So the list for fat-soluble vitamins goes on. Our first in the list is vitamin A. So let's talk about its function. It is needed for healthy skin, vision, your mucous membrane, your bone and tooth growth, and of course your immune system's health. So let's talk about its sources. Its sources can be milk, cream, butter, liver, eggs, green leafy vegetables, dark green vegetables, and much more. Our next vitamin in the list is vitamin D. Let's talk about its function. It is needed for proper absorption of calcium stored in your bones. Now let's talk about its sources. The sources can be liver, egg yolks, fatty fish, and of course my favorite, sunlight. Our next vitamin in the list is vitamin E. Now let's talk about its functions. It is an antioxidant, protects cell wall, right? And its sources can be liver, egg yolks, green leafy vegetables, soybean, corn, and much more. And the next vitamin in our list is vitamin K. Let's talk about its function. It is needed for proper blood clotting, and its sources can be green leafy vegetables, vegetables from the cabbage family, milk, and it is also produced in intestinal tract and bacteria. So guys, that was it for the video. If you found this video quite informative, make sure to spread it with your loved ones. Till then, stay tuned, stay healthy, and spread some fitness.